This video is all about how I set it all up. It gives you a bit of an idea how long it takes, the key steps, Mevo Plus, GSPro, laptop, me, very excited. Let's go. Right, so now we're going to walk to the room. Now as I get a bit closer, my step speeds up because I'm getting excited for a hit. Okay, now first things first, let's turn the laptop on, get that going for its paces. And while we're waiting for that to do its thing, we can set up the Mevo on the floor. As you can see, we're now through the password stage. Got to make sure you're hooked up with a network cable, which is also then connected to my mesh router. I'm using an Orbi for this particular room. I don't have a direct cable from my main internet from the house. This seems to work really, really well and provides me that network cable connection that you need. So that's obviously to there, so that's all good. All right, next thing. We need to make sure in the short setup that the Mevo is 2.4 meters from the T. I'll just put the measuring tape down so you can see where it is. One thing I've just noticed, and I have noticed a while back, but these tiles, because I bought these second-hand things in here, they got like this stripy pattern and they didn't actually match. I was going to line all the red lines up, but they don't match. So I did it this way, and what this really does, it's quite handy actually. It gives me where the tile is actually, you can see the change of tile is actually bang on the 2.4. So I don't obviously need to measure this every time. And I've also got a little set point between those two red lines as well as to where it needs to go. But I'll show you that in the setup on the screen. Right, Mevo Plus and the ridiculously short charging lead. I have no idea why it has to be this short. Maybe someone can chime in and let me know, because it just, I cannot understand why it's got to be so short. Anyway, I've got an extension lead here. Just going to grab that and place it. Because of the fucking stupidly short lead, you've got to place it very close to where you're going to put the machine. So anyway, this goes here. You then place the Mevo Plus. Basically bang on that line there, that's a 2.4. Okay, setting up the angle of the device, very, very important. So it comes with this little plastic gadgety thing here. You just got to make sure that this is tied up against it so that you know, as you can see, that that is the right angle. And I'll show you on the setup where it tells you that it's exactly right. So once you've done this, the next crucial step, obviously, is to turn the device on. You wait for the beep, and I think there's about 3 or 4 other beeps that will happen. After this, you can see got a bit of action going on here. The green light, I think it gives you a notification to say, yep, I am up and running. Right, so that's on. So we go over to your PC, laptop, whatever you've got, and you now need to search for the device. So we're looking for FM, I think it's called. There she pops in. So this has already been set up. So there are other steps you have to go through if you're going to set this up for the first time. I believe the serial number is your Wi-Fi password of the machine. So click onto that. That's going to be setting itself up now and give you a little notification. I'm going to turn my projector on with the old remote control. That's all going up there, flashing, blinking lights up there. And then we're going to have some images come up here. The next thing you want to do, and the kick in GSPro, Right, we're going to go to the play button down the bottom here. I'm going to go for Ultra. Play. And now it's just going to do its booting up sequence. So the other steps in my setup, I also have a Bluetooth speaker sitting down here. This gives me a bit of additional sound. Now the other things that I like to set up are, I've got an LED strip around the top. We turn that on. As you can see now, I've got it on the screen. This here is the actual flight scope setup window. The tilt and the roll are all in the green because we set it up properly. It's on a flat floor, and the tilt's correct because of that template, plastic template we've got, and it's saying it's ready to be used. Just going to go to settings here. Now, one of the other important things is the camera alignment. So if you go to camera alignment, this is where you see where the straight line is. This is where you want to find out exactly where you're aiming. So I'm going to chuck a tape measure down here. And again, luckily with these tiles, they've got stripes on, which may, or that may help, they do help. So you can see now, from the camera setup, you can see that the machine is bang in line with that yellow tape measure. So what that means now is where that red line is on that tile and that yellow tape measure, that's the hitting straight line. You hit the save and apply button, and then just click outside this window, and what it actually does is it just drops it out of play for a little bit. So I like to do this. So if you do Alt Tab here, and then you see the window and you let go, it brings that window up again. So you can always see if you've had a misread or you think the thing's basically dropped out of connection, you go to General. As long as these two here are green, you should be good to go. It's when you do this, I said Alt Tab again, it brings up the window. This is if you haven't got another screen, obviously. If you've got another screen, you'd slide this window onto the other screen. But this would potentially be red and not ready, just down here, not red and not ready, which means you're not going to pick up anything. So that's that. So we're just going to do a local, actually we normally go to practice first, so I kind of quite like, I like Plains Valley 19 for a bit of a practice start, bit more interesting than the standard practice fairway. Just as another setting as well, one of the things that's made a massive difference to myself recently is the offset. So the offset is where I had this previously set up. This area here was where we're hitting, yet the middle of the thing was over here, right? The middle of the hole was here and we were hitting here. If you measure from the middle to here and you have that as your offset right, you're now hitting up the straight line of the hole. That has made an incredible difference of recent times. I've been playing only like that probably for the last, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks, and it's really improved the playability and the enjoyment factor of it all. So anyway, we go back to the thing. We're just going to hit play Plains Valley. It will now do its loading up sequence, and I am going to do the other thing, which is exceptionally important in my space at this time of day. I'm going to drop my roller door. Hopefully nothing's in the way. As you can see, now my space has become nice and dark. I haven't got any sun blaring through the windows. It's reduced a lot of the temperature even in that very short period of time. The only other thing that I like to do, I've got a Milwaukee torch here, turn him on, drop it down, click, click, and that is shining where I want to hit it. The other thing I've done recently is I have removed the old school driving range tee, the rubber thing. I hated teeing off them things. Nothing. It didn't feel realistic. Felt shit actually. And even the process of putting the tee in the ground, which is, you know, put the tee in. There you go. Tee height. Certainly recommend using the plastic ones. Use the wooden ones in there, and they get completely beaten up and bits of wood flying about everywhere. The only thing is, as well, you don't want to stand too close to this behind it because it comes out like a bullet. So you just got to be a bit careful. But these tees are all right. They work quite well, but it's really good because it feels like you're actually putting a tee in on the ground. How I achieved this, it's not rocket science. The said tee, these rubber things that you get down the driving range, I took two with a pair of tin snips like this. I just cut it where I need. I put one through, measured it where it was at the height of the mat, chop, cable tie around the bottom, tightened it up, and then you've got basically what looks like a cat's ass that you shove your tee in. So just a little bit of advice there. Maybe use a green one or a black one, not a red one. But that's it. That's how the tee works for me. So that's it. Within a couple of minutes of leaving my front door, we're all set up, we're all ready to go, all ready to play on some fabulous golf courses that are on GSPro. Hours of fun, have your mates over, improve your game, just an amazing way to just escape from everyday life. I hope you enjoyed the video.